Wer zur Lebzeit gut auf Erden, wird nach dem Tod ein Engel werden. Den Blick in den Himmel fragst du dann, warum man sie nicht sehen kann. Gott weiß, ich will kein Engel sein. Sie leben hinterm Sonnenschein, getrennt von uns unendlich weit. Sie müssen sich an Sterne krallen, ganz fest, damit sie nicht vom Himmel fallen. Gott weiß, ich will kein Engel sein. Wer zur Lebzeit gut auf Erden, wird nach dem Tod ein Engel werden. Den Blick in den Himmel fragst du dann, warum man sie nicht sehen kann. Gott weiß, ich will kein Engel sein. Sie leben hinterm Sonnenschein, getrennt von uns unendlich weit. Sie müssen sich an Sterne krallen, ganz fest, damit sie nicht vom Himmel fallen.
Yo, Dayo! What's up, puppers? And welcome to another episode of The Cringe. It's a doo-doo spaghetti, and tonight we're going to watch some videos. We're going to try a just chatting only category stream, and we're going to see, hopefully we don't get in trouble. We're going to be watching some videos on the YouTubes, and we're going to be reacting to my favorite YouTube content creator, Secret Galaxy. He reviews a lot of toys, games, mostly a lot of stuff like from the 80s and stuff like that, and like lost forgotten cartoon shows and lost forgotten fantasy action adventure shows and stuff. But basically, if it's like a movie or something that was like, remember when they had videos back then? Remember when they had videos and DVDs? And remember laser discs? Remember laser discs and CD-ROMs and stuff like that? So when they had like a lot of these, there's a lot of like lost, forgotten, like fantasy, horror, science fiction shows and movies and like one shots and stuff that you don't see anymore, and he's one of my favorite YouTubes, Secret Galaxy, and he does a lot of like historical overviews and stuff like that. So we're going to be, it's going to be short, cozy hangout stream, and we're going to watch 4 of my favorite YouTubes from Secret Galaxy. Okay, guys, and I hope everyone's doing good. Good evening, guys. Magandang gabi. Evening, maganda, umagas, morning. Oh yeah, good evening, guys. Magandang gabi, puppers, panoys, puppers, and kababayans and chat. Hope everyone's had a wonderful day today, and I hope that you guys are having a great start of your weekend. I haven't been streaming in a while because I've been kind of feeling kind of like a little bit down and a little bit overworked and stuff like that, but I'm still grateful that I'm getting extra hours, so I gotta pay the water bills and stuff like that. And I'm not really too into my birthday, but I just have to, for my friends and stuff like that, especially my community and my IRL friends, I wanted to have at least some, like a nice content that I could commemorate the day with. So I just want to say, that's why I made it secret, and that's why I made it kind of like a late in the evening. So hence the secret short birthday stream and stuff like that. But I hope that you guys are doing good, hopefully better than me and stuff. But I'm hanging in there. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. And I wanted to stream the last like several days, but I've just been too kind of like over, like like your usual guys, just a little bit, working too much and stuff like that, and thinking a lot about stuffs, and just worried about the water bills and stuff like that. But and plus on top of that, just to let you guys know, I have my official YouTube channel up and running. So I've been editing. Oh my goodness, I think I have 500 videos uploaded to my YouTube channel, and it's taking like forever to edit all of it. I completed I would say I've completed editing like 300 videos in the span of like 3 weeks, and I'm trying to like hurry up and get it all done so I could focus more on the streaming on Twitch and stuff, because I'm not too good at the multitasking, like because I have to multitask. Like I'm always worried about like YouTube is another like beast to tame when it comes to like content creation, because I really love Twitch because it's just raw footage, raw streams, raw content, unedited. So if I say if I say bad word, if I say like put, if I say the putang, like if I say putang, like I think that's a bad word. Is that a bad word? So if I say put, like if I say those bad words, then it'll be captured, with my emotions on my sleeves. But on the YouTubes, I noticed that if I'm going to like I guess try to be competitive with other YouTubers and stuff, I have to know like videos editing, sound design, like opening and closing credits and stuffs, and editing, and how to cut the scene. It's just too much. So I decided I'm gonna be unique out of all the other YouTubers, and I'm just gonna have raw, uncut streams footage with all my emotions caught on my hearts, on my sleeves, whether I get like tilted playing a game or if someone in chat makes me upset. As they say, content's content. Do you know what I am saying? All right, guys, let's get into the game room, and we're going to watch some of my favorite videos. Okay, so sit back, relax. It's nice and comfy, cozy. Don't forget your drinks and snacks. And I just want to say thank you guys for putting time aside, of your evening to keep me company here in the cringe. I really appreciate it, guys. And thank you guys for pressing the belly button on my YouTube channels and subscribing. I gotta come up with something cool for for my YouTube's channel. So if you guys check out my YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the like button, press the thumbs up, and then subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get into the game room, and let's get comfy and cozy. Okay. Boink. Okay, guys, here we are. I'm gonna see if I have the volume adjusted right. So usually 50%, right? Then I go down to 25%. So let me know if it's too loud and stuff like that. Okay, guys? And then we're going to like sit back and then relax and stuff. Okay, okay. All right, here we go. We're going to watch we're going to watch 4 really short videos, you know, just to relax and stuff. And it's the story. We're going to watch 4 of my favorite is it topics? Because I had the toys. Like I had my the green Kamen Rider and I thought it was the Japanese Kamen Rider, but it was actually produced as an adaptation from Saban. And Saban, I think, is the company that made the American Power Rangers. So, and because of Iron Mouse, and she's a fan of the Japanese, like those Japanese science fiction action, like martial arts stuffs. So I found out later on that Power Rangers is not an American, like I guess, show. It originated in the Japans, and then there's also like Japanese Spider-Man. I was like, what? There's also like Japanese Beast Wars, what? Like that. So I'm discovering, you know, a whole world of incredibly fun new things, and I have to give a big shout out, you know, big hugs, big loves to Iron Mouse, who when I started becoming a fan of hers like many years ago, before I even started the streamings, and she Iron Mouse and Haruka and Neanners at that time were the big inspiration to you know, at least thinking about like, hey, I wonder if this would be fun to do. So lo and behold, you know, magical Corgi Pupper in a hot tub. What? Okay. All right. Let's start the show, guys. Here we go.
Formula was so simple and had already been proven to work. Success was virtually guaranteed, especially with a performance-enhancing.
Oh, I love this show.
That established the formula in the first place. But the results prove that the only way
let
to
me
come
know,
out
guys,
with a
if it's too
product
loud.
that's less than half as good as the original is to produce a show that's twice as bad as everything that came before it. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history.
Dan Larson, you're awesome. You're awesome, Dan Larson. Yay! I love Secret Galaxy. I love Secret Galaxy, and I want to share it with you guys too. If you love toys, especially toys, but if you're a nerd at heart, oh my goodness, Secret Galaxy is amazing.
Sponsoring this video. Nothing transports me back in time faster than the taste and smell of fruity breakfast cereal. Just opening a box of Magic Spoon and suddenly it's like I'm 10 years old on Saturday morning watching cartoons at my grandparents' house. Magic Spoon tastes exactly like regular
I remember
cereal from your
these.
childhood, but
Oh
Magic
my
Spoon is
goodness.
delicious, nutritious, and
I
great.
remember
Two
these.
super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle, have returned permanently.
Wait,
when these flavors
they're
were first
back?
introduced for a limited time, they sold out extremely quickly. Make sure to get these again or try them for the first time. They even drop limited edition flavors all the time.
Oh, it's
Trying to
limited.
cut down on carbs or sugar, trying to eat healthier, the cereal you ate when you were 10 might not be the best fit. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein,
The cereal you
4
ate
net grams of carbs in each
is
serving.
not,
Also, only
aka
140
not healthy.
It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb.
Wait,
and
this is
GMO
healthy? This is the
free.
healthy
Like
version
going
of an
below to get
old
some Magic
school
Spoon
cereal?
today. You can build your very own variety box or use my code TOYGALAXY for $5 off. You can choose from the
Nice. Look at all the toys in the background. Oh,
cookies and cream.
look
and
at all the
maple
toys in the
flavors,
background.
Plus other awesome flavors, including blueberry and cinnamon. Newsflash: Magic Spoon is now shipping to Canada and the UK.
What? Canada? Arthas! Arthas could eat the cereal.
So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Nice and nice.
Use the code TOYGALAXY for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/ToyGalaxy to save $5 today. Thanks again.
Beanie
to
beep bump.
Magic Spoon.
While there's commercials.
Dang it,
commercial.
Great up there. Yeah. I have been here in the house with
Oh,
everyone.
hold on.
for a
Let's see.
day, and it feels like a year.
Let's skip.
Masked Rider is a 40-episode live-action television series that originally aired in the United States from September of 1995 to August of 1996. It
Whoa,
attempted to transform a
95.
Japanese action television icon into a cringe-worthy sitcom for American kids, and I'm here to tell you,
Kamen Rider. What?
Masked Rider is Prince
It was a
Dex
cool
and
show.
Enoid, what's left of it anyway, a far-off desolate world where his uncle Count Dragon holds the populace in his evil grip. Prince Dex's grandfather, the rightful King Lexion, is at the end of his rope looking for a way to defeat Count Dragon and liberate the planet. Count Dragon is expanding his empire and has Earth in his sights as a source of new bodies.
Look at that guy's outfit.
King Lexion decides to send Dex, the keeper of
Oh
the
my
Masked
goodness.
Rider, as is his birthright, to Earth to protect the planet.
You notice that it's a square? I think they made it's meant for television, and the television didn't have letterbox.
That is when things get weird. Dex is blasted light years across space.
Yeah, like they didn't have letterbox back in the ancient times of yesteryear. So I'd always wondered when I was like looking for like old like science fiction shows and cartoons and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's always in a box. It's always a square. And then I found out later on is because they when they filmed, like when they made production back in the ancient times of yester nerds, it was in a square format because TVs, they didn't have a letterbox shaped TV. It was basically a box. Isn't that crazy? What now we have like widescreen and stuff like that. Or if you have an app, you could stretch the screen, so it's like you could like, what is it called, like morph it or something like that, using like the technology and stuff.
A flaming comet cratering the yard of a suburban family on Earth who have an affinity for orphans.
Let me know how the volume is, okay,
Take
guys?
him in probably because he's wearing 90s cool guy clothes and make him part of their family with little concern as to who he is, where he came from, how he got there, or what about the crater in the front yard.
Is this good volume?
They buy into Dex's story, and soon after, Furbus shows up to make sure that this show's cast is ripe for sitcom hijinks. What'll Furbus do next?
Furbus?
Eat a pie, steal a car?
I remember this
Tune in
toy.
to find out. It's the 90s, so
Oh,
anything is
I wonder if this
possible.
toy is
Dex and
it's a
Furbus's
burb.
adopted family, the Stewarts, are quirky and fun from Dad Hal to Mom Barbara, daughter Molly to son Albie. There's plenty of love in this house. And what is this show about again? Oh, right, the Insectivore Army from space
The
here to enslave
Insectivore Army.
humanity in a war across the galaxy. Dex, along with the help of his new Earth family, will do everything he can to defeat the Insectivore army and ultimately his uncle Count Dragon. Along the way, he's going to make a lot of friends, learn some very
Oh, this is the Kamen Rider I grew up with.
That loves him for exactly who he is.
We had this toy.
Also, his pet platypus man, Furbus.
Oh my goodness, we had this toy.
Saban and Shuki Levy. Like the wildly successful Power Rangers before, it is the product of a previously existing Japanese television series, thoroughly deconstructed, then rebuilt as something else entirely. This one even more so. On the surface, there are similarities to the source material. In substance, only ghosts.
What?
In 1993, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers became one of the most popular and most lucrative television shows ever. It was responsible for over $1 billion in merchandise sales.
Remember the
first year,
pilot
accounting for
episode of
40%
Power
the
Rangers?
figure market by 1995. Power Rangers creator Saban was
We had those
you have that kind of
toys.
success on your hand. You do whatever you need to do to copy and paste and paste and paste and paste and paste.
That's
and
funny.
paste. And at the time, there were 3 major subgenres of live-action special effects shows, or tokusatsu, in Japan.
Wait, it's
Super
called
Sentai
Turbo
are the
Ranger?
multicolored superheroes like Power Rangers. Metal Heroes are the cyborg police or military-focused shows that Saban used for VR Troopers, another series headed for season 2. The third subgenre was Kamen Rider, which literally
Kamen
translates to
Rider.
Masked Rider. Kamen Rider as a subgenre.
Wait, Power
began
Rangers
1971 with the series
in the Japans
Kamen
was
Rider,
they were
about
called
Shotaro
Turbo
Ishinomori.
Rangers?
By
What?
1989, there had been 9 different Kamen Rider
Turbo
series of varying
Rangers.
popularity.
Kamen
In
Rider.
general, Kamen Rider shows
Kamen
had at
Rider,
least one superhero
Rider.
dressed in an insect-stylized costume. that rides a
Oh,
motorcycle.
look at that, the green one. This guy. This Kamen Rider.
Their respective rider form. They are
Whoa.
super strong and
Oh, I
proficient
want to get the
martial
toy
artists
again.
with finishing moves like a rider kick to devastate their opponents.
Rider kick.
While Super Sentai had been a relatively steady, reasonably predictable, and profitable series for producers Toei, Metal Heroes and Kamen Rider had their ups and downs. Kamen Rider Black, which ran from 1987 to 1988, was the first series after a 6-year hiatus.
I'm surprised
It did
they
well
won't
enough
they
to
don't they
spawn a
don't
direct sequel
they won't
called
make
Kamen Rider
like a
Black
Netflix
RX in
series.
1989. When it came time for Saban
Like
to
Kamen
partner with
Rider
Toei for another new series,
2025.
It made sense to pursue the third point of the Toei television action trinity. Even
Whoa.
if the most recent footage that Saban could use was from a show that in 1995 was 6 years old. With Power Rangers still surging on television and on the toy shelves, Saban facilitated a 3-part crossover that would act as a backdoor pilot for Masked Rider. What better way to start the new franchise than teaming him up with the already popular and successful Rangers, who could introduce him to their fans and send him on his way already well ahead of the game. Within the Saban shared universe,
Wow.
Prince from the
Look at
planet
this,
Eden,
guys.
which just so happens
Square,
to be the same
Square.
planet that Alpha 5,
It's in
the
Square
Power Rangers
production.
Alliance system, is from. Alpha 5, who helped Zordon create and recruit the Power Rangers themselves. Alpha 5, who was created by
Turbo
Prince Dexter's
Rangers,
grandfather,
what?
King Lexian. The three-parter titled A Friend in Need aired in the 3 weeks prior to Masked Rider's launch in September of 1995. You can't blame viewers for expecting a show like Power
Wait, they
Rangers,
fought
being
each other?
surprised when they got a show that was like Alf, but without the clever
Wait,
writing
Kamen
and
Rider
action
fought the
scenes that
Power
didn't
Rangers? I mean, the
maintain their
Turbo
own
Rangers?
internal consistency. In Japan, the Kamen Rider
What?
series tends to show even
What?
less of the costumed heroes than Super Sentai or Metal Heroes.
We gotta find
There
that
is,
episode.
therefore,
Holy
less
smoke,
footage
I didn't know that.
from and thereby required Saban to fill more time with non-costumed actors and Furbus hijinks than any potential fan could tolerate. On top of that, Masked Rider in Japan is a much darker show overall. There's a lot of body horror and intense imagery, so a limited sample of usable footage got even smaller. Masked Rider in the US was forced to cobble together footage from Kamen Rider Black RX, Kamen Rider ZO, a movie released in Japan
Wait,
in
they called it
1993,
Masked
and
Rider in
Kamen
the
Rider
United
J, a movie
States?
released in Japan in 1994.
Oh, look
In
at
the very
that.
first
The
fight Dex
green,
has
the
with a creature
green
called
one, the
Destructosphere,
mantis.
it is clear from
The
several
mantis.
shots that the rider fighting Destructosphere isn't wearing the same suit as Dex, because Dex
Whoa.
is from Kamen Rider Black RX, and Destructosphere is a creature called Doras from Kamen Rider Z.
Doras.
Saban wasn't able to get all of the suits they would need to create new
Oh, I
footage
missed
of
this.
shots
You know what?
from
We're gonna have to
angles or
watch some of
entire
these shows
scenes,
and stuff.
because
And I
Kamen
want to
Rider
get the
Black
toys.
RX was 6 years old. Most of that stuff is gone.
It shouldn't be
Nearly
that
all of the
expen-
monster troops were
The
designed
toys
to
shouldn't be
new
that
for Masked
expensive, right,
Rider
guys?
in the US.
Wait, we used to have the green, the Masked Rider action figure, and it was so beat up. Like, I think all that was left was just like the waist broke, and I think the left arm was missing, and then all the paint was all messed up, and then the motorcycle that came with it was missing its wheels, and it was like all busted up. And then I think we just threw it away. And now I'm thinking back, like I'm gonna try to see if I could find it on the eBay. Maybe on the eBay we might be able to find a Masked Rider like action figure. It's surely it's not gonna be that expensive, right?
Once Masked Rider was on, it didn't take viewers long to realize that the Power Rangers never show up and are never mentioned. Not unheard of for television spin-offs, but disappointing.
Wait, did we skip up?
Furbus was no substitute for Tommy Oliver.
Oh wait, we skipped. I jumped
Body
ahead.
horror and
There.
intense imagery, so a limited sample of usable footage got even smaller.
Oh my
Masked
goodness.
Rider in the US.
Masked Rider. I didn't know that he battled the
Kamen Rider Black
Power
RX,
Rangers.
Kamen Rider ZO, a movie released in Japan in 1993, and Kamen Rider J, a movie released in Japan in 1994.
In the
In
Japans.
the very first fight Dex has with a creature called Destructosphere, it is clear from several shots that the rider fighting Destructosphere isn't wearing the
Oh,
same
look at this
suit
guy.
as Dex,
Oh,
because
imagine.
Dex's suit
Oh,
is from
all right.
Kamen Rider
If I
Black
had to
RX,
pick
Destructosphere
out of
is a
all the
creature
Kamen
called
Riders
Doras
to
from
do
Kamen
like a
Rider
Netflix
ZO,
series,
because
I
Saban
think the
wasn't able to
green,
get all
this
of the suits
green
they would
one,
need to create new
the Mantis
footage,
would look
shots,
great
or
on.
angles, or
Would look
entirely new
great.
scenes, because Kamen Rider Black RX was 6 years old. Most of that stuff is gone. Nearly all of the monster troops were designs created new for Masked Rider in the US. Once Masked Rider was on, it didn't take viewers long to realize that the Power Rangers never show up and are never mentioned. Not unheard of for television spin-offs, but disappointing nonetheless. Furbus was the
So
substitute for
Turbo,
Tommy Oliver.
the Power Rangers were called Turbo Rangers in the Japans, and Masked Rider in the US was called Kamen Rider in the Japans. And they battled each other, but in the American production, they edited the scenes out. I see. Oh, wait, look at this. We had this toy. That's the motorcycle. Oh, we had these toys. Masked Rider. All right, so it's by Bandai. Dang it, commercials. And skip.
So, let's talk about the man-bear duck in the room. Let's talk about Furbus. Furbus is a unique
Not this
creation
guy
of a
again.
version of
Not
Masked Rider.
Furbus.
Wikipedia describes him as a furry bipedal alien with a beak and looks
Guys,
similar
once
to
again, let me know if the volume is too loud, or let me know if it's good, okay? Because I'm still getting used to doing a chatting only stream, watching YouTube videos. So I don't know if it's too loud, but I hope it's not too soft.
Simultaneous invention. Who among us prior to 1995?
I remember the
had an idea about
Furbies.
Something that looked like that.
They're
In fact,
scary.
I have my own proprietary creation with similar-looking characters called duck bears that I've been
Duck
shopping around the
bears?
studio
What
since
is this?
1995. Yes, it looks kind of like DuckTales, but it's.
It
again,
looks like it
we
is
just went over
DuckTales.
this. It's a simultaneous
What?
invention. See, DuckTales is about talking ducks in a city called Duckburg. Duck Bears is about talking platypuses exploring the galaxy in their
Talking
spaceship with platypuses. There are bound to be similarities in an oversaturated genre like this. It's unavoidable. Within the world created by the narrative,
Wow.
Furbus is a member of an alien species called
I don't think we'll ever get like an era of toys ever again. At least I don't think so. Because when
who created the Critters in the Critters series of films, among other.
see, I don't think we're gonna have like the golden age of toys, because when all these incredible toys came out when I was growing up and stuff, there was no like social media. There was no pagers and things to notify you. We just happened to if we're eating cereal before we go to school, we will watch the Cartoon Channel, and if there was a commercial, we'd go crazy. If there was a commercial, lo and behold, look out, mom! We gotta go to Toys R Us. We gotta go to Toys R Us or KB toy stores. Or remember that toy store called Playco? What?
Things. First try.
I didn't like Furbus or the furries. They kind of scared me when I was
Also,
little.
sometimes a suit
'Cause
worn
see,
by
look,
suit actor
he's walking
Troyer,
around.
Mini-Me in the Austin Powers series, voiced by Paul Pistori, who did multiple voices for Kevin Rubio's Troops Star Wars short in 1997.
Wait,
Furbus,
Star
in
Wars
and
had a
of
short
himself,
called
is neither
Troops?
offensive nor necessarily out of place within this already exaggerated depiction of reality. It's actually a pretty well done puppet and suit character with functional expressions. He's as good as Alf or any of the Ewoks.
Alf.
The
Oh my
problem
God, I haven't heard that
is
name in a
it
long
turns the show
time.
into something that the audience was not expecting, and statistically,
We should do a reaction on Alf, guys.
like Power Rangers before.
I think there's a
Masked Rider,
whole
full complement
group
toys
of
from
new-
Bandai. Minifigures, 6-inch posable figures,
New
motorcycles, vehicles,
fans that would love the show.
head-flipping or quick
Oh, we
change,
had these
whatever you
toys.
want. Dash Racer,
Oh, I
mutating
want it. I
vehicles,
want to get it
regular
back.
decks, Masked Rider,
Ah,
regular and upgraded
the-
Super Gold and Super Blue forms.
We made them
Villains
fight
like
each other till they
Skull
broke.
Reaper, Robosect, Double Face, and Count Dragon.
I remember
and
we
of
broke the
course,
antennas.
Titus. When Masked Rider ran in syndication in 1996, KFC included Masked Rider toys in their kids' meals. A Masked Rider
Wait,
figure that
Kentucky
each
Fried
used their
Chicken
Super Gold
offered
form
Kamen
training
Rider
helmet,
toys?
His Super Chopper
What?
motorcycle, Magno the Supercar, and Ecto Viewer wristband, Cyclopter, and Bump and Go.
Oh, whoa.
Lunchboxes, party supplies, costumes.
Oh, I
Marvel
remember
comics, the single issue
lunchboxes.
that brought Masked
Wait, there's
Rider and
comic
Power
books
Rangers
too?
Back together again to defend the city against the forces of Count Dragon.
Masked
A few
Rider.
episodes of Masked Rider were released on VHS in 1996. In the UK, Jetix released a DVD with 3 episodes. In 2012, Shout Factory announced a distribution deal with Saban, which includes rights to the first 17 seasons of Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, and Ninja Turtles.
Beetleborgs.
It did not
Beetleborgs.
Masked Rider is not currently officially available for streaming online. That said, all 40 episodes are here on YouTube unofficially. Why
Whoa.
isn't it streaming? Shinichi Moriyasu, former president of Bandai, said the show was a sales failure. Didn't move enough toys, didn't attract enough eyeballs.
Really?
Didn't even run the full series before it got canceled.
It was hard
Perhaps
finding
some
the
of
toys.
blame
It always
goes to the
sold
oversaturation of
out
the market.
at
By
my
1996,
local
the
toy
genre
store.
had already produced 3 seasons of Power Rangers.
Wow, they
Power
don't even
Rangers
consider it
Super
successful. They
Human Samurai
they won't
Cyber
even
Squad,
bother
2 seasons
like
of
officially
VR
streaming it out
Big
for
Bad
for
Beetleborgs,
a new
and then
generation
this
of fans.
totally bifurcated psychological experiment with more screen
Oh,
time
look how
given to
cool he
the narrator.
looks! Look how cool Masked Rider,
I don't know if that's
Masked
actually true, but that's what
Rider.
it feels like. Ultimately, Toei and Ishimori Productions, the company that handles the rights to creator Shotaro Ishinomori's creation since his death in 1998, declined to renew Saban's license to Kamen Rider. There are whispers that Ishinomori himself banned Saban from ever using the property again because
banned.
it was so badly executed. Some stories even say
Whoa.
that Toei took legal action against Saban for the damage to the brand internationally. Either way, in 2001, Saban Entertainment
Disney?
was purchased
Oh,
by
yeah, that's
Disney as
right.
part of the
Disney
Fox
bought-
Family Worldwide Fox Kids Worldwide deal.
2001.
Properties like Power Rangers and Masked Rider were included in that purchase. In 2010, Saban bought the rights back from Disney, and then in 2018, sold everything to Hasbro. As of this video, it appears that Hasbro owns the actual Masked Rider episodes, but not the license to do anything with them, unless they want to write a very, very large check to Toei and Ishimori Productions, which they don't. And that might not matter anyway, because Kamen Rider is preparing for a big multimedia push in Japan intended to make the world tour the same way Godzilla has in the last few years. In July of 2021, Toei announced that a new film called Shin Kamen Rider was in production.
Shin Kamen Rider.
Evangelion creator Anno Hideaki at the helm, due out in March 2023. Hideaki wrote the script and co-directed the 2016 film Shin Godzilla, which effectively reconceptualized.
Oh, I heard about Shin Godzilla. Did you guys get a chance to watch it yet?
Same thing for Kamen Rider. Bring the 50-year-old concept simultaneously back to its roots while propelling it around the world and into the future.
Whoa.
In the finale of Saban's Masked Rider, which aired before the last 3 episodes, Dex recognizes that he is not strong enough to defeat the end boss monster, Bruticon. So he teams up with the 10 previous Masked Rider warriors who quickly run through a training exercise before joining him on the battlefield. It is the perfect illustration of everything that did not
Look at this. It's all in square production. Square format.
The position of characters and the location. Voice acting that
Are those all the writers?
sounds like one guy doing the
They're all the
only 3
writers.
voices he knows how to do. Random Japanese actors that show up in a group shot that aren't there a moment later. Group shots that are clearly the Japanese actor Tetsuo Kurata playing Kotaro Minami and not Ted Jan Roberts playing Prince Dex, even though they're wearing the same clothes and have the same haircut. The footage of the Rider Warriors is pulled from 2 3-part arcs in Kamen Rider Black RX. For Japanese fans,
that was a thing back then, right? I mean, they would take like something from Japan, from the Japans, and then edit it in a way where it makes sense, but it's crazy fun. I don't think they could get away with this anymore, huh?
The characters on screen. During their roll call, Kamen Rider Super 1 calls himself Strongman, Kamen Rider Stronger calls himself X, Kamen Rider X calls himself V3, Sky Rider calls himself Amazon, Amazon calls himself Riderman, and Riderman just isn't there even though he's in several other things. Saban's job was never to duplicate the Kamen Rider experience shot for shot.
Oh my goodness.
What happens with Power Rangers or VR.
It's all blurry too. The footage is blurry.
The viability of the brand in the market where it was licensed. Masked Rider set the franchise back in the US market a full decade. In 2008, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight aired on the CW, developed
2008. Okay, we're becoming modern now.
Productions. They kept the Kamen Rider name both to maintain a greater degree of fidelity to the source material, but also to distance themselves as much as possible from the Saban adaptation of the 90s. While it was an impressive adaptation that pleased Toei executives and won a Daytime Emmy for stunt coordination thanks to newly shot fight
it won a Daytime Emmy.
scenes,
That's pretty good.
Before it could finish its single season, and no US adaptations have been made since. Perhaps a sign that Kamen Rider isn't a viable brand in the US, or perhaps Toei and Ishimori were right that Saban's Masked Rider did more damage than anyone.
Oh, I didn't think it made damage. It was fun.
Thanks for watching.
I remember
Please hit like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. If you haven't heard,
thank you, Secret Galaxy.
Find us at twitch.tv/ToyGalaxy. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, please visit our Patreon or become a YouTube channel member. Let us know in the comments down below if you watched Masked Rider at all. I was excited when it first started airing, but quickly lost interest. I definitely took advantage of the ability to pick up Kamen Rider figures regardless of what they were intended to be in the US market. That said, I just found out about the 10 Rider Warriors in the finale while working on this video. Very happy to see my boy Super 1 on screen again.
10 Rider Warriors.
So ridiculously voiced and named Strongman. Utter disrespect.
Well, that was fun, and I learned a lot.
Thank goodness the internet has allowed some of this stuff to be watched in its original
Oh,
form.
it's nice to know that my favorite of the Kamen Riders, the Masked Rider. Do you guys know?
For sponsoring this video, go to
we got commercials. Do you guys know what the original Japan's name is? The green of the Masked Rider. Oh, this one's Japanese Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse demonstrated the potential danger of dimensional breaches.
This one is the crazy story of the Japanese Spider-Man, aka Spider-Man.
It was a 41
and he had a Power Ranger vehicle. Leopardon.
In Japan and ultimately around the world. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of
Oh, I noticed his hoodie. It's colors of Spider-Man. Oh, look! I remember this when I was little.
Up front, I want to say,
what the heck?
I'm sorry for getting any and or all of the pronunciation
in
this video.
Sugoi! Wait, is that right? Sugoi!
I'm not properly trained in the Japanese language. Watashi wa YouTube no hito desu. Japanese Spider-Man, also known as Spider-Man.
Spider-Man! Oh!
Spider-Man in the alphabet of the Japanese language, is a 41.
This was
episode
awesome.
live-action
Oh my
television
goodness.
series that ran from March of
I highly
1978
recommend this, guys. I don't know how you would see
It is
this,
a loose
find this.
interpretation of the
I
Marvel
guess
Comics character
if you
that
could
borrows
find
the
old
costume and basic
DVDs and
powers,
stuff like
it
that,
takes a
or
whole lot of
videos.
creative
I mean,
license to weave that with his
probably
story.
old
In this
DVDs,
version of
maybe.
Spider-Man, an alien named Garia crash lands on Earth. His ship, the Marveler, was discovered by Takuya Yamashiro, a 22-year-old motocross racer.
Oh my goodness.
Garia gives some of his blood to Takuya, which grants him superpowers, since Garia happens to be a great warrior from the planet Spider.
Wow.
He's on the hunt for Professor Monster and the
Spider-Man
Iron Cross
and
Army, who
Power
on the way
Rangers
destroyed
mecha
Planet Spider,
combined.
left him as the only
Nice,
surviving warrior.
nice.
Garia also gives Takuya a mechanism to activate his costume, his webbing, and summon the Marveler, which, by the way,
Marveler.
also transforms into a giant mech super robot, or for you Americans,
You know, I'm curious. I wonder if the toys, if Leopardon, you know, I'll have to check the eBay and check out and see how, if it's not too expensive.
Takuya now has a spider sense which alerts him to the nearby dangers of the Iron Cross Army. Garia's blood has given him superhuman strength, speed, agility, and the ability to climb walls. Like Peter Parker, Takuya keeps his identity secret to protect his friends
Look,
and family.
he's
until
got
he
a
begins
wrist
cooperating
changer.
With Yuzo Mamaya and the Interpol Secret Intelligence Division.
Whoa,
Luckily for
this looks so
Takuya,
cool.
the ISID is also pretty good at keeping secrets. This Spider-Man occupies an interesting hybrid space in pop culture, being simultaneously a distinctly American and Japanese creation. At the same time, he also bridges these genres.
Oh,
of
look how cool this
tokusatsu
looks.
and Sentai on Japanese television. Tokusatsu is a genre of television and film entertainment, not to be confused
Yay,
with
Tokusatsu.
the Japanese toy company, or To Go Tacos, which is what I had for lunch. Tokusatsu
That's
literally
funny.
means special effects, but it has come to represent
Nice,
the
nice.
entire spectrum of live-action costume superheroes, crime fighters, robots, and monsters. The term tokusatsu can be applied to all types of entertainment.
Is it
going all the way
tokusatsu
back
like
to
a
and
soup?
including
I always thought that was a
but the
soup.
modern usage
Or
really
like a
gets going
sushi?
with Godzilla in 1954.
Oh, look, the
Superman in
black and white
1966,
Godzilla.
Nitro in 1967, and Kamen Rider in 1971, all examples. of
Kamen Rider
tokusatsu programs. Even Go Ranger in
1971.
1975,
What?
which, upon its creation,
Oh, look how cool they look.
the tokusatsu
Look at those
subgenre
those crazy
Sentai.
motorcycles.
Sentai
What?
literally means team or squadron or force, and generally focuses on superhero teams. It's the subgenre that years later would become Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In
Ah, I
Go
see.
Ranger in 1975 and Jakka in
Marvelous.
1977. Spider-Man arrived in 1978 with all the bug-centric visuals of the Kamen Rider series and the superheroics of the Sentai series. Merging the
See,
aesthetics
Spider-Man
of
had a
adding
mecha.
giant
He had a
super
mech.
as his key finishing move,
He had
not
his
to
own
mention
giant
a
robo.
valuable asset on toy shelves. And it was all the result of a
I always
three-year
wonder why
licensing
they
agreement
call it
between Marvel
Leopardon.
Comics
That's
and
leopard,
Toei.
isn't it?
Toei
You
has
would
been
think they
producing
would
movies,
have
television,
his
video games
his
since
mecha would be
1950.
like
Marvel
arachnid or
Comics has been
something,
doing the same since
or like a
1949.
spider,
Team Up initiated a 3-year period where they had the option to use each
or
other's
Tarantadon. Tarantadon.
Initially, Toei planned a version of Spider-Man that was kind of like a reverse Spider-Verse concept. The Spider-Man would literally be teamed up with a character named Yamato Takeru, a warrior prince from the 1st century who had time traveled into the present. Spider-Man would have been his sidekick. But Toei decided not to take any chances. Spider-Man was a top-tier feature character, and they had the license, so why not build a show around him specifically? Spider-Man, Leopardon and all, was a success, and for the follow-up, Toei was going to produce a show about Captain America. Or
What?
at least the
Japanese?
counterpart of Captain America.
Japanese
They
Captain
pulled the
America?
ship back a little closer to the Sentai team concept, expanded the roster back
Sentai
to 5,
team.
included representation
Sentai
from around the
Timaru.
world, added a transforming robot, and released Battle Fever J.
Look at the way they
in
split the
1979,
cat guy.
officially
The
giving
cat,
birth
oh, that
to
one
the
girl looked like
Super
Nyan.
Sentai genre
The
as
one
we
girl
know
looked like
today.
Nyan.
Toei, in cooperation with Marvel, would release 2 more Super Sentai shows: Denshi Sentai Denziman
Oh.
in 1980 and Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan in 1981.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Oh, Spider-Man.
Meanwhile,
Spider-Man
back in the
da.
US, Marvel had utilized
Tokatsu.
Combat V and Vanguard Ace in their line of comics supporting Mattel's Shogun Warriors toy line.
Oh, I had that comic.
But Stan
I had
loved
those comic
seeing
books.
the
I had
action
that one.
superhero shows that Toei was producing and set out to find a network, any network, that would
Whoa.
run them. Marvel pitched it. They pitched a concept featuring the greatest.
Whoa, that's a nice
show
scene.
ever.
That's a nice shot.
Vulcan. It would be easy and cost efficient to redub the audio with English-speaking voice actors, reshoot the out-of-costume parts, and churn out episodes that were coming in from Japan.
You know what? Maybe should I get my chibi tuber model with a special toggle where I turn into like a Kamen Rider? Wouldn't that be cool? That would be cool.
Now, since those characters were actually Toei creations, now I'm never gonna get to see my sweet eagle, shark, and panther as part of Hasbro's Lightning collection. Where's the justice? Toei took a lot of liberties with Spider-Man. Ultimately, legend has it that Stan Lee himself was a big fan of the show. He loved the action, the theater, the way the character moved.
It was very good. I enjoyed it.
No, Stan Lee liked it.
The way we do them in the United States, that it was fun because I was looking at a totally different style and a good style.
But Stan Lee isn't necessarily Marvel. Marvel wasn't crazy about the idea of Spider-Man
Marvel was
becoming a giant
upset.
robot, but relented when they were shown the potential to reach their desired audience and make a lot of money selling toys.
Bottom line. Always the bottom line.
Transforming robots and vehicles. And it worked.
Leopardon.
Kids loved that
I would have
Leopardon,
changed
and
it.
by default,
I would have had, instead of a lion for Spider-Man, I would have had like a tarantula, like a spider mecha or something.
Leopardon the toy would completely
Leopardon.
back to America as part of Bandai America's Godaiken line in 1984.
Godaiken.
Heavy-handedly
Godaiken.
described on the package as a robot that is half leopard and a space-age tank too. Do me a favor, put that on my
Half leopard, leopard and robot or whatever. Leopard and robot or whatever.
Toy-centric superhero genre of television and movies on both sides of the Pacific. But if you were looking for episodes of the show prior to 2005, you were out of luck. Spider-Man was owned by Marvel, so Toei couldn't release a collection with him in it. One VHS cassette released in the 80s had the first episode, the 31st episode, and a short film edit that had run in theaters. Toei wasn't even allowed to use photographs of Spider-Man without paying additional licensing rights to Marvel once that agreement had ended. In 2005, Toei reacquired the rights to distribute the series and in December released a DVD set.
There's a DVD.
41 episodes. In 2006,
Oh, there's only 41 episodes. Oh, such treasures of the past.
Design and functionality. It even included a scale Spider-Man and his GP7 Spider Machine. In 2009, Marvel began its slow embrace of the character. From March to December of that year, they released a new episode online each week until the entire series was available with original audio and English subtitles. They have since been removed. And it's this World Wide Web that the rest of us have to thank for our knowledge of the character at all. Japanese Spider-Man is one of those things that has gained prominence and mass appeal internationally through accessibility.
Whoa.
In the past, it disappeared into obscurity.
Whoa, that's a pretty high flip. What the?
In 2014, Marvel went all in. They fully embraced Takuya Yamashiro and Leopardon, prominently featuring both in the Spider-Verse crossover series. It was the series that inspired the 2018 hit film This Spider-Man. Toei Spider-Man was now officially part of Marvel Universe canon. There's nothing too obscure for the internet and nothing escapes an online petition. After the success of Into the Spider-Verse, fans began lobbying the creators to include Toei's Spider-Man in the sequel. Executive producer and writer Phil Lord suggested that if Into the Spider-Verse made it to $200 million, he would include Japanese Spider-Man in the sequel. As of this video, Into the Spider-Verse has only done $190 million.
No, he wanted to.
$375 million worldwide. So I don't know if that counts. Can we get Phil on the phone, see if he can get some clarification?
200 domestic. It has to hit.
It was recently pointed out that Leopardon does kind of appear in the first movie as a rough sketch in Miles Morales' sketchbook.
What?
It's a concept too cool not to attempt to exploit, and Toei has no reason not to play along with Sony to get it done. Takuya Yamashiro's most recent appearance was as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Mattel produced a special edition Hot Wheels GP.
Oh, there's a Hot Wheels one
featuring Toei's Spider-Man, which certainly makes it seem
the
like
GP7
Spider-Man
702
way back in one form or another. Toei's Spider-Man's legacy is one of cross-cultural marketing, a core influence on an entire genre of international superhero television and
Man, I'm so distracted by all the toys on the shelf behind him.
A character that has been around
I see a Mega Man. You see the Mega Man on the bottom left?
Legal red tape. Takuya Yamashiro could be the next household name, along with Miles Morales, janky old broke hobo Spider-Man, and Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
Help you sort out those old
Yay! This was amazing. This was a great episode. I learned a lot. Spider-Man.
Your credit is important, and Upstart can help you either get back on track or give you a head start in the right direction. Upstart looks at the bigger picture, including education and job history. Get a smarter rate through a more complex picture of who you are and what you do. Upstart makes it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in just a few minutes. The best part, once the loan is approved and accepted,
dang commercials.
Next business day. Over 300,000 people
Thank
have
you,
used
Secret
Upstart to pay off
Galaxy.
credit cards or achieve their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment.
I'm looking at all the toys. I'm looking at the Superman on the shelf on the top middle, and then on the right you see the Gundam, and there's the Mandalorian.
Checking your rate only takes a few minutes and won't affect your credit. Once again, go to upstart.com/toygalaxy to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already
Thank you. Thank you, Secret Galaxy.
Position to help the channel grow. Please visit our Patreon.
I love this channel. I love this channel.
Please share this video and let us know in the comments down below which Marvel character you'd like to see with
Yay.
a corresponding giant robot. I love Captain America, but I'm curious just how big Galactus's mech robot would be, what it would be made out of.
Oh, too bad they never made a Japanese Captain America. That would have been cool. I know that there was a American Captain America TV show.
My father knows about saving money.
Oh,
Everything
commercials.
I'm wearing, I've had since boot camp.
And I just saved on my car insurance.
And skip.
It's the Transformers.
Oh, my favorite. My favorite of the Transformers, Beast Wars. Bum 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 bum.
Cutting edge animation.
Oh, do any of you guys remember Beast Wars?
Hi, I'm Dan Larson. This is the history of Beast Wars.
Dumpa da bum, dumpa 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 da bum, dumpa da bum, dumpa da bum, dumpa da bum, da dum, dumpa da bum.
Thank you to Bespoke Post for
Thank you,
sponsoring this
Secret
video.
Galaxy.
To get 20% off your first box of awesome, click the link in the description and enter code Galaxy20 at checkout. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering a
Too bad they don't have.
awesome,
Do they have something like Bespoke but like nerdy things? Because wouldn't it be cool if you could get like choice of dice or role-playing games or board games or card games? That would be cool.
90% of the products come from small brands, many of which are based right here.
I mean,
in the
Bespoke is
US.
cool, but too bad they don't have like a nerdy gamers thing.
Outdoor gear, barware, home and kitchen goods, clothing, even live oysters. You ever been introduced to a live
I just want to
oyster?
say thank you
You'll get a
guys for
box of
keeping me
awesome
company
assigned
here in
you,
the
and before it's
cringe.
shipped, you'll get to
And
preview
thank you
what comes
for
inside to
supporting my
decide if you'd
YouTube
like to,
channel
1,
too.
Keep it, 2, swap it for a different box,
Bum, bum,
or
bum, bum.
3, skip the month entirely for no charge. You only
The way he's
pay for
sharpening
what
the
you
knife is so.
want. The box lineup
He's being
changes
very
each
tender.
month. This month we got wet, concentrate, and perhaps you noticed that I'm wearing Moment right now. Always handsome, always knowing the time. To get 20%
I don't think I've ever worn a watch ever, I think, because hello, your cell phone has the time.
Galaxy20 at checkout. And thank you again to Bespoke Post.
Bespoke Post.
We have covered some aspects of Beast Wars in the past.
Oh,
We're
Beast
revisiting it here in
Wars!
isolation to
I
dig a
had
little deeper and
all the
focus on some more of the
original
build-up and behind
Beast
the
Wars
scenes.
action
There's no such
figures
thing as too
from
much
the
love.
Japans.
Beast
And
Wars
then
is
I
a
also have some of the
52-episode animated
American
series that aired over
production.
3 seasons from 1997 to 1999.
3
It was a sequel
seasons?
It was a prequel to. It's the series that aired after the original Transformers animated series, but takes place before the original Transformers animated series. After. A trans-warp portal opens above a mysterious planet somewhere in the galaxy.
Ah,
somewhere
look,
in time. 2 star
it's in
cruisers
square
barrel through
format.
space exchanging laser fire. One is facing destiny, the other desperately.
Oh, this was such a
attempting to
great
preserve
series.
the Predacons, evil robotic warriors led by Megatron, a
The
different
Maximas.
Megatron, have risked everything to come to this
Dun,
planet
dun,
to
dun, dun,
harvest
dun,
its abundance
dun,
of pure,
dun, dun,
unrefined
dun, dun.
energon, a source of energy that
Yes.
could give them the power to conquer the entire galaxy and
Yes.
change the fate of their home world. All that stands in their
Dun,
way
dun,
are
dun.
the
There's
reluctantly
Cheetor,
heroic
Rat
Maximals,
Trap,
led by Optimus
Rhinox,
Primal,
there's
not
Optimus Primal.
Prime, the crew of an exploration ship that just happened to be nearby and capable of locking onto Megatron's
There's
warp signature
Megatron.
before it jumped. Now both factions find
Bum, bum,
themselves
bum,
trapped on a
bum,
strange
bum, bum,
and
bum,
dangerous
bum,
world.
bum.
Radioactive emissions from the unrefined energon saturate the air, forcing them to take protective measures and adopt alternate modes inspired by indigenous life forms with organic surfaces to protect their robotic bodies. The Maximals will have to fight back against the Predacons to stop them from taking the
Maximize!
to prevent the Predacons from returning home for any reason other than to face
Washmanina. Remember that guy?
Remember
Washmanina? Washmanina.
The Transformers began as a collaborative effort by Japanese toy company Takara, American toy company Hasbro, Griffin Bacall Advertising, Sunbow Productions, and Marvel Comics.
Sunbow. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Loosely associated toy lines from Japan and repackaged
from the
them for
Japans.
the US market beginning in 1984. It was immediately one of the dominant sales leaders and pop culture influencers in the US and around the world. In 1986, The Transformers the movie marked a line-wide refresh of characters and mythology.
Wow.
And also an exit ramp for people whose favorite characters had been unexpectedly retired. Retired? The following year, in 1987, the original cartoon ended, but the toy line would sustain for another 3 years in the US, with the last new toys being produced in 1990. Transformers was essentially dead in the US, despite new toys still being released in other countries. 3 years later, in 1993, Hasbro began re-releasing many of the original Transformers figures with new colors and Generation 2 branding, which was supported by reruns of the
wow, look at the graphics. Oh, these toys.
Marvel Comics released a new 12-issue Generation 2 comic book.
I never got a chance to read any of the comic books, though.
The violence and tied into ongoing GI.
I was more into watching the cartoon series, the anime and stuff.
Lower than anticipated. In 1995, Transformers Generation 2 ended. Hasbro had already recognized that Transformers was going to need a major overhaul to stay relevant. After 10 years in business, it was clear that the status quo was no longer enough to bring in new business or retain old customers.
Oh, it reached its apex.
In 1994, but it was going to take more than just a new gimmick. After all, they'd been rolling out new gimmicks for years, from Transformers with detachable transforming heads to micro-sized Transformers to Transformers that didn't transform at all. According to
I didn't like the micro-sized Transformers.
At BotCon 2004, lead designer Chris Gross was the one who suggested going in a softer, more organic direction. Transformers whose armor had rounded edges, like MacGyver. Like the Guyver. Bio Booster Armor Guyver was a long-running Japanese comic series.
I remember Guyver.
It centers around a high school student and his accidental merging with a suit of symbiotic biomechanical armor. The suit becomes part of him, stored inside
I forgot it. That's how he
transformed.
transformed.
Transform into a nigh invulnerable hero.
Guyver.
Guyver was adapted to animation in Japan in 1989 and then as a live-action movie in the US featuring Mark Hamill.
I remember Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was the Guyver.
Rounded, soft edges weren't entirely new for the Transformers brand. In 1988 and 1989, they had released Transformers Pretenders. Pretenders offered the
I remember the Pretenders, those toys. It's like there's a Transformer inside the Transformer, but secret.
Fleshy outer shell. Some Pretenders look like humans, others look like monsters and aliens. Pretenders' beasts look like animals. Carnivac the wolf, Catilla the saber-toothed tiger, Chainclaw the bear, Snarl the boar. They look like the future with their conceptual direction.
They weren't that popular. Like, I didn't care about those toys.
Organic alt modes, exchanging cars, airplanes, and guns for dinosaurs, bugs, and monkeys, but keeping the heart of the line, toys that disguise themselves as other toys. As development continued, Hasbro was visited by Chris Bruff, the founder of Mainframe Animation.
Oh, I remember Mainframe.
Deep in its second season producing Reboot.
Remember Reboot, guys? That was an awesome cartoon series.
Of all time. History. I don't know why I read it.
Bum, bum,
What is
bum,
going
bum,
on
bum.
today? Welcome back from break.
Reboot the
Inverse.com in 2021. Bruff said he was looking to generate some work for his growing studio, and having worked with Hasbro in the past, he, quote, went down to Cincinnati to see the boys at Hasbro and asked them, what are you doing with Transformers? Hasbro then put together their pitch for the series and sent it back to Mainframe, who started working on 3D character models and putting together a team of writers to not just create
wow,
characters, but a world
the
of
history,
drama.
the beginning, the
If there was
birth,
one mistake
the birth of the
Transformers
Beast
Generation 4
Wars,
made, it was
the American Beast
underestimating
Wars,
the
that
value
is.
of the mythology to the fans of the series. To make sure that didn't happen this time, to create a compelling world with fully realized characters, Beast Wars enlisted the talents of Larry DiTillio and Bob Forward. DiTillio was a seasoned veteran of animation, having worked on properties like He-Man and She-Ra, Centurions, Galaxy High, Bionic 6, Captain Power, and The Real Ghostbusters.
Whoa,
DiTillio
that's
was
a
writer
lot.
and executive story editor on Babylon 5 and even penned an episode of Murder, She Wrote. Forward worked with DiTillio on He-Man and She-Ra, as well as other shows like
It's so
Filmation's
square
Ghostbusters.
format,
Both DiTillio
it's all
and Forward
square
were obviously
TV
aware of the
style.
original Transformers television series. neither intended to
Oh,
rehash the
I want that
concept.
T-shirt he's
The
wearing.
idea was to move
Bonum,
on,
bonum,
create
bonum.
something new, or as Dayo described it in a 2022 article on /film, quote, "Both Bob and I are fully aware of the old show, and we are adamant about producing a better show."
A better show. Beast Wars. I found out later on that there's a Beast Wars Japan's version, but it's like cartoon anime style.
The war between the Autobots.
The Beast Wars, the American version, is like a computer graphics animated.
Still the Optimus and the Megatron, same as always. But Beast Wars, the cartoon, went in their own direction, intending to be, by design, disconnected from the original series and the original characters, allowing them the creative freedom to tell whatever stories they needed to. The mysterious planet they crashed on might be Earth, and it might not.
Beast Wars.
All this week from 4 to 6, because we're going to war. Transformers are back for the 90s, and if you're a lucky kid...
I don't think they'll ever have that again, guys, because remember they used to have these like Saturday morning cartoon, like they called it Saturday morning cartoons, but I don't think people watch TV anymore, huh? Everybody's on the YouTubes or they're watching on the cell phone or something like that. I don't think we'll ever get that enjoyment again.
Switch to our most affordable unlimited
Dang
phone
it, commercials.
plan and get 2 lines for just $80 per month. With
All right,
Simply
commercials.
Unlimited from
Skip.
Regardless of their experience and success with it, computer-generated animation was still in its infancy. There was a limit to the number of complex moving objects that could be rendered on screen for any given shot. What might have been a deal breaker for some
Whoa.
turned out to be a blessing for the writers who leaned into
I'm looking at the stuff on the shelf. They look like
relationships
masks
between a limited number of characters and allowing that to be the
or
driving
helmets or
force
something.
behind the
I see
stories.
Batman on the
Starting
right.
fresh allowed for an easy on-ramp for a new era of Transformers fans who had no
Oh, look
connection
at
to the
that,
original series or the original
There's
toys.
Quick
The
Strike.
emphasis on characters and
Nice.
character-driven stories even compelled some intransigent G1 fans to let
Nice.
go of their
Dun, 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 dun,
preconceptions
dun,
about
dun, dun, dun,
generational
dun, dun,
displacement
dun.
and indulge in the new and exciting
Yes.
stories unfolding with each new episode. Hasbro themselves kicked their own skeletal plot ideas aside.
It's so
and fully
square
embraced the
format, huh?
established
Like everything was made in a
other
square
writers on the series
format
included
back
Star
in
Trek
the
veteran
ancient
DC
times of
Fontana, Transformers
nerddom.
G1 and G2 comics veteran Simon Furman,
What the heck?
animation veteran Christy Marks, Wolverine and Swamp Thing co-creator Len Wein, and Marv Wolfman, co-creator of Marvel's Blade and DC's Teen Titans. That said, for all the insistence that this was a new and separate thing, unwavering G1 holdover fan
Hope you guys are
helped
doing
push the
good,
series
guys. Thank you
toward
for
an
keeping me
inevitable
company here in the
connection. Time
cringe.
would reveal that this
Don't forget
was
your
a
drinks and snacks, okay,
continuation of
guys?
the
It's a nice,
series
comfy,
after all.
cozy,
The events
you
taking
know,
place both
streams and
resulted
stuff.
from it and played a role
Secret,
in
though.
establishing it. The Maximals and Predacons time displaced, their stories playing out in the distant future of Cybertron.
Oh, I had
before
these
time jumping
toys.
here to prehistoric Earth, while the G1 Transformers lay dormant during their 4 million year
Nice.
slumber that led up to their awakening in
Beast Wars. Dum,
Furthering
bum, bum,
the
bum, bum, bum.
disconnect from the original series to Beast Wars, all new actors were cast to portray the Predacons and Maximals. Peter
Yes.
Cullen as Optimus Prime and Frank Welker as Megatron had established iconic characters for the franchise to that point, but this was a new era.
Yeah, definitely
Optimus
new
Prime
era.
was played by Gary Chalk. Megatron was played by David Kay. Ian James Corlett played
Oh,
Cheetor.
there's
Richard Newman
Venus
played
Turso was
Rhinox.
Black
Scott McNeil
Arachnia.
played Rat Trap, Waspinator, Silverbolt, Dinobot, and spoiler alert,
Scorponok.
Dinobot.
Wait, Blue
While Beast
Mankuma
Wars
was
more committed to an
Tigatron.
engaging storyline than
What?
its predecessor, at the end of the day, the goal was still to sell.
Oh, look at these
In
toys.
multiple scales, multiple price points, and with play patterns.
Maximize.
Transformers. Yes, there had been animal-based Transformers like Dinobots and Insecticons, but Beast Wars toys put the priority on the animal forms being the primary mode for the entire line of toys.
Oh,
On
I
looking
don't
like
think we'll ever come
real
back to this.
animals, not cybernetic versions of animals, and it worked. These animals look like they can.
Oh, that's so
Beast
funny.
Wars toys resuscitated the flailing Transformers brand in the U.S. All right, everybody, get serious.
I should try to get a blurry background for as a good scene, huh? This looks pretty good. I mean, look, it's so
in the
blurry.
US, despite a market dominated by the reemergence of
Bum,
Star
bum,
Wars, the
bum, bum,
continuing
bum,
saturation
bum,
of toy
bum,
biz
bum,
Marvel
bang, bang.
superheroes, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, features, Beast Wars recaptured some lapsed G1 fans and cultivated the next
look,
era
it's so
of
blurry. The footage is
Beast
so
Wars, a
blurry.
cutting-edge
It's so like
computer-generated animated series,
raw,
one of the
like
first of its
raw
kind,
footage.
was an obvious choice for cross-platform storytelling. However, even with advances in video gaming technology, the processing power for the
I don't think they ever filmed it in HD, huh? Like, I don't think HD existed back in the ancient times.
Transformers was released for the PlayStation and PC, the latter of which supported.
Wait, there's a Beast Wars PC game? What? I gotta look on Steam for this. Look at
allowing gamers to play as both sides.
It looks so clunky. What?
Multiple comic book series were produced featuring the Beast Wars characters, but those were published several years after the series and its direct sequel, Beast Machines, had already.
I saw Beast Machines. It was a good attempt.
Followed by 4 issues of The Ascending in 2000.
I never read the comic books. I was so into the show. Look at the computer graphics. This was cutting edge back in the ancient times.
The success of Beast Wars between 1996 and 1999 prompted Hasbro to move more deliberately with a line.
I remember Beast Machines. The stories just got the writing was suffered.
Beast Machines. The Maximals returned to Cybertron to find out that Megatron somehow got home before them and now rules the entire planet with his army of Vehicons. The series was a metaphorical war between the two eras as Megatron's army once again used vehicular alt modes and the Maximals continued with their animal forms, albeit more cybernetic than before. But that's a video unto itself.
Yeah, it was. I could only last past the 3rd episode. I couldn't. The writing just suffered in Beast Machines. Sad.
Titled Transtech, which would have seen the further return of vehicle alt modes. Instead, Hasbro threw in the towel and imported the Japanese series Transformers car robots as Transformers Robots in Disguise, because Japan has their own Transformers lineage based on imported and domestic Transformers media, which we will not get into here.
I found that later on that
when it came to Beast Wars,
Japan had their own Beast Wars
CG animated series, but took the dub in a much different direction with more humor and over-the-top voice characterization, breaking it into 2 26-episode series: Beast Wars Super Lifeform Transformers in 1997.
Whoa, look at the animated transformation. It's the stop motion.
Good news though, the Japanese versions of the DVD releases have both the Japanese and English dubs, so the drama of the English versions is available if needed.
Nice,
in the US,
nice.
Kid Rhino Entertainment released Beast Wars on DVD in 2003 and 2004. Shout Factory re-released it in 2011, and as of this video, you can stream it for free on Tubi TV. After several decades of ignoring the Beast Wars era of the franchise, digging in on G1.
You think we could stream watch it maybe?
2021 marked the 25th anniversary of Beast Wars and a full return to the once revolutionary chapter. IDW Comics published new Beast Wars.
Whoa, look at the art.
February. 17
I never really got a chance to read the comics.
Retelling several key moments of the animated series and building on
Beast Wars comics.
The series was canceled due to IDW losing the Transformers license. The Maximals and Predacons returned to animation for the 3rd chapter of the Netflix animated series Transformers War for Cybertron.
I saw this, the War for Cybertron. It was okay. It was very serious. It was like kind of like too heavy.
Rat Trap, Rhinox, Dinobot, and others.
It didn't have any humor. It was very bleak.
In 2018, Transformers prequel Bumblebee successfully continued.
Bumblebee was fun. I remember the Bumblebee movie, guys. That was fun.
Next, return to Cybertron. More G1 inspired Transformers, further subverting the decade of Michael Bay movies. The Beast Wars.
I remember the Beast Wars, the Michael Bay one. It was okay. It was okay.
I don't know why I said it like that, because yes, slated for release in June of 2023, Transformers Rise of the Beasts will be at least partially inspired by characters and events from the Beast Wars era of the franchise.
It was okay. I remember I watched it in the movie theater, IRL, and then I felt like I should have just waited for the streaming.
RC and other Autobots, presumably joining forces with Maximals, Optimus Primal, Air Razor, Cheater, and Rhinox. Mother. We can't put that in. Look, I'm wearing a G1 shirt. What do you want from me?
Nice.
Presumably joining forces with Maximals, Optimus Primal, Air Razor, Cheetor, and Rhinox. Beast Wars' legacy is one of life, death, and rebirth. The spark that gives life to Transformers, the very
I wonder if we should try. Should we try to make like a nice edited, like YouTubes and stuff? Nah, that's too much effort. That's too much effort.
The spark, which centers around the Maximals and Predacons battling over a crashed stasis pod.
I remember this episode. Oh, this was such brilliant writing.
Were able to save the spark inside and thereby save the new Maximal Air Razor. The 1986 movie touched on the idea of life and death within the franchise. Lots of death, in
With
fact.
the Allspark.
The very idea that
The
a Transformer can
Allspark.
die or be completely reformatted. But it doesn't address the substance of what happens to Transformers
Oh,
when they go online and when
Silverbolt.
that the spark is
He's
their
my
literal
favorite
spark, their
character of the
spirit
series.
spark. It is the totality of their genetic makeup. Beast Wars was itself a salvaging of the spark of the Transformers franchise for Hasbro. A life force nearly extinguished, returning to life. Reformatted with new parts to live on, championed by a new generation. Beast Wars earned its place in Transformers history. It earned its fan base and its legacy because, believe me, there's no one who wanted it to fail, to die, more than the kids who grew up with G1. Beast Wars proved that change is good. Change is necessary. Change was the most important thing for Transformers.
I love the Beast Wars. I love the Beast Wars.
Thanks for watching. Please hit
Thank you,
subscribe.
Secret Galaxy.
I've only said it like 80,000 times. Please
Ba-da-ba-ba.
hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, if you'd like early access to the videos ad-free, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy and let us know
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
when you first encountered Beast Wars.
All right, guys, we're coming up to our final reaction, our final reaction video, and it's going to be one of my favorite cartoons I've ever watched. It helped inspire me to play the Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game. I think Basic Edition, back before it became even popular at all.
That's what we call the good old
Yay!
You can't prevent sick days. That's why Kleenex lotion
Commercials.
moisturize
Skip.
to help.
Yay! Toy Galaxy. I just want to say thank you guys for keeping me company here in my secret short birthday stream. And I haven't been, I just want to say I'm so sorry I haven't been streaming in the past like several days because it's been kind of rough and I've been feeling a little bit sad and stuff and just a lot of things, but at least we got a chance to be comfy and cozy and watch some of my favorite videos from my favorite YouTuber, the Secret Galaxy. He's got so many videos on toys and like a lot of like historical overview about like old cartoon shows, not just toys, well, mostly toys, but cartoon shows. And well, if it's a cartoon show, then back in the ancient times it was always tied to like a toy brand and stuff like that. But he also talks about like overseas like shows and toys and stuff like that, and I just love his shows. I just love Secret Galaxy. Alright guys, this is the final video for reaction stuff, and this is from the history of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. They just re-released a lot of these action figures, and I saw at GameStop, but be very careful guys, okay? The original production run, I think, had the parts, the plastic, it was very brittle. So try to, if you're gonna get the game, I think it's called at GameStop, the Dungeons and Dragons action figure, try to see if the year is like 2025 or current. When it first came out, I think it was like 21 or something like that, and the plastic was like the, what do you guys call it, like the plastic that was molded for the action figures were very brittle and they would break. Just moving the elbow and stuff would break. Later on they made the plastic a little bit better. So if you guys are really big fans of the Dungeons and Dragons and you're gonna get the action figures from the original cartoon show at your local GameStop, just make sure that it's a current production run, like that's on the box and stuff. Okay.
A franchise plagued by accusations of occult inspiration, a game that some believe blurred the lines between fantasy
Dungeons and Dragons. I love this cartoon.
Players, fraught with monsters, demons, spirits, dragons, and wizards.
It's kind of funny that today we would call it anime, like, but it's really a cartoon. But then a cartoon is an anime, right?
That it was a perfect fit for Saturday morning cartoons. I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of the Dungeons and Dragons.
The Dungeons and Dragons. Yay!
Dungeons & Dragons was an animated series that ran for 27 episodes from 1983 to 1985.
Wow.
It was created by Kevin Paul Coates and Dennis Marks. Developed for television by Mark Evanier, who would have spent more
Mark
time
Evanier,
on it,
grew.
had to move on to his much more successful show, Garfield
Nice,
and
nice.
Friends.
I got a
Mark
chance to
wrote the
meet
pilot
him.
episode titled
He
The Night of
autographed
No
a poster
Tomorrow,
for me.
establishing all of the major characters and relationships, but more importantly, he took a previously
Oh my goodness, it's in
existing,
square
overly
format.
complex initial
They didn't make it
concept of the
letterbox
series
back in the
and boiled
ancient
it down
times.
to its essence. Something with a
Oh, there's
simple formula
Tiamat.
that could be executed by the other
Whoa.
writers who would follow him on the series. It was in that distillation of complexity that the general concepts of Dungeons and Dragons, the game,
You know what? I'm gonna have
into an easily
I just
consumable,
wait,
relatable,
wait.
entertainment product.
Right, I just realized I should try to find the Dungeons and Dragons, like the cartoon series Minecraft skin. I have a Hellboy skin and I have an Ewok for my Minecraft. I found one that looked like me, but grown up for my Minecraft. I found a Doodoo Spaghetti Minecraft skin, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to have like a classic Dungeons and Dragons skin? You know what? I'm gonna have to look after stream, okay?
It was good for the brand at large, given the assertions from parents groups that it was somehow dangerous. Dungeons & Dragons began as a role-playing game in the mid-70s.
Wow.
It became a cultural phenomenon, selling hundreds of thousands of copies by 1982. Yes, there were already
I wish I had
dice-based
my
war games
original
in existence
copy.
for decades, but D&D made the move into suburban living rooms with
Oh my
actual
gosh, look at those.
televised
I have
commercials
those.
and rules for kids as young as 10. It was in that appeal
What?
to children that some parents began to take issue. A group called Bothered About Dungeons and Dragons.
I remember
was founded
this.
By Patricia Pulling after her son committed suicide in 1982. She believed that D&D was responsible for his death after he had begun playing the game at school. There was major network coverage of suicides and murders that were alleged to have been related to involvement.
I
in the
remember
game.
this. We watched
Tom
this on
Hanks even starred in
TV.
a film called Mazes and Monsters in 1982, which dramatized the story of James Dallas Egbert, who, it was reported, attempted to kill himself in the tunnels at the university.
What? Tom Hanks was in this?
Gary Gygax himself
What?
went on 60 Minutes opposite Patricia Pulling to defend D&D as a positive creative
I remember
experience
all
that
the
encouraged the
hoopla,
use of
all the
imagination and
drama
props.
that happened at
For
the
more on
same
the history
time,
of
guys.
Dungeons & Dragons, the game,
My
be sure to check
teacher
out our video,
in
The
school
Tragedies
got
and
in. I
Triumphs
got
in
yelled
the
at for
History of
bringing in the Dungeons and Dragons book.
TSR, the company that owned
to
Dungeons
school.
and Dragons, sought to capitalize on that
Crazy,
popularity,
huh?
that exposure for the brand, even if part of that exposure was driven by the controversies that followed the game at every mention. TSR established TSR Entertainment, which would become
Aw,
D&D
TSR.
Entertainment, with the explicit purpose of licensing Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank
to
you, Dungeons and
Hollywood
Dragons.
Productions. TSR, in cooperation with LJN
Whoa,
Toys,
look at
developed
these
a line of
action figures.
inspired
We
by
had
advanced
these,
Dungeons and Dragons. The
Oh my
game.
god, we had
They
Ringler
varied in
Run.
size from non-posable plastic miniature
We had
figurines to
Ringler
fully
Run,
articulated
we
5
had
and 6
Strongheart.
inch figures, and even a full-size Fortress of Fangs interactive playset. The
What?
figures produced under license by LJN represented some of the main character classes, some key player characters, and a whole slew of monsters to be used in conjunction with campaign modules specifically designed for those action figures. The designs drew their inspiration from the original artwork featured in the D&D guides and character descriptions. The
Oh, I
action
feel like
figure
playing
line was a
D&D
more
now.
traditional play-oriented approach to the fantasy combat.
I have to
that was
ask
a major
Ketchak
part
if
of
he'd
the
want to
game.
do like, if he'd want to DM me in a short Dungeons and Dragons stream using the basic edition rules. Oh, look at this commercial! Oh, War Duke, Strongheart. Whoa, War Duke.
Will spell and steal the treasure. Evil is no match for good.
What the?
Treasure is safe.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons action figures: Kellic, War Duke, Bronze Dragon, Strongheart, each sold separately from LJN.
Krellick.
Here's the difference between
Dang it,
Mudwater and
commercials.
coffee. I'm Matt, food scientist and head of R&D.
Alright, here we go,
at
and then
Mudwater.
skip.
Meanwhile, Marvel Productions picked up the Dungeons and
Whoa.
Dragons license from D&D Entertainment to begin development of an animated series. But revision after revision resulted in an overly complicated mess that was in dire need of focusing from a fresh perspective. Under significant time constraints, pressured to get a fully realized concept that could be sold to a network, Marvel Productions gave everything they had to Mark Evanier. In Mark's
Marky
own
Vayner.
words, quote, in the development process, as the format is being worked out and characters are added, deleted, or defined, you often get lost in the 93rd revision. The CBS folks felt
He worked
that
on the
Dungeons
Gru
and Dragons
comics. There was a comic book
almost there
series
as a
called
series,
Gru.
but that it needed some work from a fresh mind.
And I was a really
I
big
have an
fan of
extremely
that
fresh
series.
mind to go with my fresh mouth, end quote. Dungeons and Dragons was different from the normal expected process for the development of a cartoon. Usually, the toy line is the first thing that is developed, and the show and all the supporting media follow with the goal of selling the toy line. In this case, the main product, the game, was already established. The figure line followed again.
Oh, the
as a
game.
means to support the game.
I had the original
animated
white
series
box
came
set
at the
of Dungeons
end
and
to
Dragons,
support the toy line
and then
of the
later
game
on
to
I got
broaden the audience and
a
recognition of the brand,
book called
which all leads
Chainmail,
back
and then I got
to
the
game.
red and the blue
Dungeons and
box.
Dragons, the animated series, followed the adventures of 6 friends who thought they were taking an innocent trip on the Dungeons and Dragons ride at the
I'm
carnival.
surprised. You know what?
Halfway through the tunnel, they are magically.
What would really be cool, like the idea of this show, I think it would translate well if it was a live action Netflix series or Amazonian series, you know, like kind of like Witcher and stuff. I think it would have potential, but I don't know why. For some crazy reason, like they made several attempts for making live action Dungeons and Dragons movies, and they really don't do so well. And I did enjoy the most recent Dungeons and Dragons live action. And what's the name of that guy, the Captain Kirk, the actor? It's not Thor. I keep thinking the actor is Chris Helms, but it's not. No, Chris Pine. So I remember I saw the Chris Pine Dungeons and Dragons, and it was very, very wonderful and entertaining, and it was awesome. But I felt that it felt really niche, and it didn't do too well in the box office. And I was really hoping that it would do really well, or somehow it would touch the mainstream audience. But it really didn't pull in the numbers. So there's no, I could wish for part 2, but they're not gonna really do it. So, but what if they made it as a Netflix series based off these kids and stuff? They could hire all these new young actors, right? The potential, but I really don't know. But it would be great though, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? I can imagine it.
Transported Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe style to the world of Dungeons and Dragons, where they will spend the rest of their lives trying to find a way home. See, it's funny because if they had just listened to the concerned parent groups about the dangers of all things D&D, they never would have ended up in this mess in the first place. Upon arrival in D&D land, they are greeted by Tiamat, the 5-headed dragon,
Tiamat,
Judy, the unicorn, and their host and guide, Dungeon Master. Each of the 6 friends are given a character class and a signature weapon.
Venger, I remember Venger.
With a magical bow, Erica Cavalier with a magic shield, Diana the acrobat with a magic staff. Albert becomes Presto the wizard with a magic hat, Sheila a thief with a cloak of invisibility, and Bobby, her younger brother, is a barbarian with a magical club. They are tasked by Dungeon Masters, not only finding their way home, but also fighting against the evil Venger and the dark forces.
Venger! He was such an awesome, iconic villain.
Done within the opening theme for the show. The star-studded voice cast included Willie Ames and Adam Rich, both formerly of the comedy drama 8 is Enough, Don Most, who starred as Ralph Malph on Happy Days, and they were supported by animation stalwarts like Peter Optimus Prime Cullen and Frank Megatron Welker, a sentence that types itself whenever we cover an 80s animated series. Dungeons and Dragons had arrived and had broken through the attempts to prevent it from reaching the hearts and minds of children the world over. Its tentacles of corruption were now in every aspect of daily lives. This is tentacles, right? These are talons.
Look at all the toys in the background. He changed it again. I see a Shogun Warrior on his back left.
Dungeons and Dragons stickers, coloring books, color
I see some Marvel action figures on the right part of the shelf. Oh, I had the coloring book.
Black magics
Whoa.
of hell itself up until this moment.
I had the coloring book and the color forms.
The day Dungeons and Dragons became Shrinky Dinks.
I remember the Shrinky Dinks. Remember that, guys? The Shrinky Dinks. What?
For all the cross promotion, for all the licensing.
Oh my goodness!
for all
Look
the
at Dungeon
Master.
Master.
Very little of it featured the characters from the cartoon itself. Characters from the game and the action figure line featured prominently. No one would blame you for assuming that Strongheart was the main hero in the cartoon, battling against his arch nemesis Warduke. That's the visual story that plays out on the rest of the merchandising. But LJN never produced figures for the characters that were unique to the cartoon. No Venger, no Dungeon Master.
Yeah, I was wondering
Sheila,
why.
Bobby, or Uni. No magical roller coaster that features our realm on one side and the realm of Dungeons and Dragons on the other. Strongheart, Warduke, and a few of the other toy and game-related characters.
Oh, look at these
made cameo
PVCs.
appearances on the show. But that's it for crossover. Some merchandise, including a series of small, non-posable PVC figures, were released in Spain. But
they were made
rare
overseas.
and a hefty price in good
I don't think
condition
I've
on
ever seen
secondary
any of these on the
market today.
eBay.
The most likely reason
What?
why
They
LJN
must be
never
so
produced action
expensive.
figures based on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon is the most obvious one. They couldn't. They didn't have the rights to the characters.
They didn't have the rights to the toys. I remember these toys.
In the beginning of
Oh,
1983,
Melf.
as were a lot of D&D.
I remember Melf,
D&D
Mercion.
cartoon began airing in late 1983.
Oh, look at that.
Any licensing agreements created prior to Marvel
Remember when they made
TSR
real cloth for
co-producing
clothing
the
for your
D&D
toys
cartoon
back for your
would
action
not have
figures back
included
then?
any elements
Back in the
from it.
ancient
It was
times.
possible to write Strongheart and Warduke into a few episodes of the cartoon, which they did. It was not possible to retroactively include the cartoon characters in any of the licensing agreements.
Oh, there's
And not
Warduke.
for nothing, but the cartoon was already pushing the envelope with respect to the content directed at young children. Michael Reeves, writer of 7 episodes, has explained that the production crew, quote, took the show about as far as you could go on kids' TV at the time. As an example, the script for The Dragon's Graveyard, in which the kids contemplate killing Venger in order to find a way home, caused a battle royale with broadcast standards and practices.
Wow, they were really
End quote.
strict back then, huh? They were really strict with the cartoons back in the ancient times.
They were also a very noisy
I mean, now in the cartoons we see booba, we see boobs and stuff.
Teamed up with
But
the
back
National
then,
Coalition
whoa.
on Television Violence to ask the Federal Trade Commission and Federal Communications Commission for regulations warning consumers of the possible violent effects of the game and the Saturday morning cartoon. Despite all that, Dungeons & Dragons led its time slot for 2 years. It's rare
2
that any
years?
show
Oh.
can get more than one season. D&D
That
did
short?
just
Wow, it
that
felt so
without the
like
support of an
long.
action figure line
It
that
felt like
needed
forever
constant
back in
refreshing
those
of
good old
characters.
days.
After
The good old
27
cartoon,
episodes over the
Saturday
course of 3
morning
years,
cartoon
ratings
days.
predictably began to decline. It was canceled without the kids ever returning home from the realm of Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, they never made it home.
There was no final episode depicting the kids' return home, but Marvel Productions did hire Michael Reeves to write a final script. Michael wrote 7 of the 27 episodes, so he's just as much an authority as anyone involved in the production. So if you want to consider it canon, you have a pretty strong case to do so.
We could read it.
While it has never been animated, Michael himself made the script available online, and there are several fan-produced audio recordings, one of which features Katie Lee reprising her role as Sheila.
Wow.
A simple search on YouTube will give you the closure you've been looking for all these decades
Nice.
later.
Okay, it's
Since
on the
1985,
YouTubes.
The franchise has been mostly dormant. In 1996, TSR published a limited series of promotional comics. The Forgotten Realms issue, The Grand Tour, features a cameo by the characters from the cartoon still living in the world of Dungeons & Dragons as adults. TSR and all D&D related products were purchased by Wizards of the Coast in 1997. In 1999, Wizards of the Coast was purchased by Hasbro. And that brings us up to 2018 when Iron Studios announced that they would be releasing a series of combining diorama statues of the
These were
characters
cool.
from
I
the
thought like these were nice to
due
see,
out
but they
late
were
in
really
2018.
expensive.
Dungeons & Dragons as a Saturday morning
the Rick and
cartoon
Morty, I
transformed the
remember.
reputation of the franchise through the humor, action, visibility, and general superheroization of the concepts, the marketing blitz across all manner of merchandise. D&D was normalized. The cartoon showed that Dungeons & Dragons could be a mainstream entertainment brand, the same as Marvel or Disney. Ultimately, the show was a brilliant PR move to put a new public face on the reputation of Dungeons & Dragons. The cartoon, more than anything else, is responsible for softening the image of D&D. For
Hi,
fun and
Jen.
profit, for introducing a lot of the language of the game into common.
Hi, how are you? Well, it's supposed to be secret, and that's why I made the stream so late. You know, I'm not really too into it and stuff like that, but you know, I just wanted to do something that would be like at least something for like a short content and stuff like that. And then, you know, trying out to do chatting only. I always wanted to do reaction of the YouTube's videos and stuff. Oh, thank you, Jan. Thank you. Hope you're having a wonderful. I think it's morning. It's morning, right? Where you're at, or I keep forgetting. Is it morning or afternoon? Probably afternoon, huh? But thank you. We're winding down. This is the last segment of our videos. So, okay, nice. afternoon. Are you gonna be streaming? Oh, I was watching your zombie game, and it looked interesting. Your zombie game looked really interesting. It looked cute. It's it looked like a Nintendo game. It looks like a Nintendo zombie game. The Zombieland, I think Zombieland USA. Alright guys, we're winding down the last moments of the video. It looked fun. You don't have Project Zomboid? I don't know if it's on sale though. Oh, guys, there's a sale. There's a sale going on in Steam, guys. There's a sale, and guess what I got? I got the deluxe version of The Walking. I think it's called The Walking Dead, but it's the one with Clementine. But the deluxe edition has 4 different chapters, and it's only $5. It's only $5, guys. And then I got this Korean. I think it's Korean, like a Japanese dating game. It's kind of like a sussy Japanese dating game, but it was only $5. So I got an amazing, oh my goodness, guys, The Walking Dead Deluxe Edition, the Telltale series. You get 4 chapters for only $5, guys. But if you ever do Project Zomboid, all right, guys. We're finalizing the last video reaction.
In household use, it is no longer a thing whispered about in the same context.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Satanic rituals. It was the show on Saturday mornings, right after Pac-Man and before Pole Position.
Thank you,
Thanks
Secret Galaxy.
Like subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell to make sure that you are alerted every time we post a new video. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy.
Yay!
Share this video and let us know in the comments down below who you would love to have seen make Dungeons and Dragons cartoon toys back in the day. Not now. Back in the day.
But back in the day.
Bonus points if you don't say LJN. Who'd you like?
Whoa. Nice. All right, guys. Let's pause it. Wait, can we pause it? All right, guys. We're going to be winding the stream down, guys. This was a short secret birthday stream, okay? And the reason why I make it secret and short, because, you know, I've been feeling kind of a bit down and stuff, but I've been feeling kind of blue. But also a little bit overworked and stuff like that, and I don't know, just a lot of stuff. But you know, there's nothing. You know, I'm a little corgi pupper. I'll bounce back. I bounce back. Okay. All right, guys, let's get into the goober, and we will wind the stream down, everybody. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for popping in, Jan. Thank you for the birthday wish and stuff like that. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday and the start of your weekend and everything like that. And I really appreciate you guys keeping me company here in the cringe. I understand that, you know, in today's times, that time is of the essence. And thank you so much for spending, you know, sharing a little bit of your moment with me. Thank you, Jan. All right, everybody. I hope that you guys, you know, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm gonna be hanging out with family tomorrow for, you know, short birthday hangout, stuff like that, with Sister Spaghetti, and maybe. No, you know what? We'll probably do like another short stream when I come tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably in the evening and stuff like that. Oh, you have a wonderful afternoon. Magandang hapon mo, Jan. Putang. You little balut. All right, guys. Once again, thank you for helping support my stream. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for supporting my official YouTube channel. I edited 300 videos and I have 200 more to go. And then I'll be complete with my YouTubes and stuff like that. All right, you bantots. All right, you guys stay bantot. Alright, guys. You take good care, and I hope to see you guys next time. Okay, everybody? Take good care of yourself, and take good care of each other. And I hope to see you guys next time. So long. Farewell. It's time to say goodbye. 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 Good. Bye. Have a wonderful rest of the evening, everybody, and I hope to see you guys next time. Lovers!